Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Kody has stated over the years that he loves Robin more than any of his previous marriages. He even disclosed in season 19 that he and she have a heavenly bond and that their love is greater than anyone can comprehend. He thinks Robin is unique since he has never felt this way with anyone else. Fans are aware that Robin and Kody have their own issues and that their relationship is not flawless. Another distinction between the two recently came to light. The two are clearly on very different chapters in their lives, as fans could see. Christine, his third wife, and Janelle and Meri left him in early 2020. He has changed his lifestyle significantly by becoming monogamous with Robin. He's spoken death if he intends to get married and acquire a second wife. Unexpectedly, Robin held somewhat different opinions, and this could be a big point of contention for the two. Sister Wives. Robin's favoritism accepted by Kody. Kody Brown has officially acknowledged his preference for Robin, which Sister Wives fans had long assumed. It was impossible to overlook the family's fractures following his divorces from Meri, Janelle, and Christine. The other wives frequently alluded to feeling marginalized by Kody's partiality toward Robin. Kody and Robin denied it for years, but he admitted in a previous tell-all that Robin is his favorite because, in his words, she was the only one loyal. Online, Kody received a lot of backlash from admirers who compared his ex-partner's dedication to that of misbehaving pets. Sister Wives. Robin and Kody can't agree on a big life choice. Kody Brown, star of Sister Wives, is drawing attention to his decision to have and raise another wife. Suki Krishnan questioned him about his willingness to be married again and carry on his heritage during the most recent show. If his former wives were still a possibility, Kody asked her if she was thinking about getting married. Suki clarified, though, that she was requesting that he be married since that he is alone himself with Robin. With a shrug, Kody stated that he strongly disagreed. Since he and Robin have already failed at polygamy and plural marriages, he made it obvious that these practices are not acceptable. When his ex-wives left him, the choice was eliminated. He isn't prepared to risk his heart once more. He added that the breakdown of their multiple families has left him and his fourth wife feeling wounded and shattered. Suki asked Robin the same thing. She acknowledged that it would be difficult for her, but she would back his choice if he could at least assure her that he wanted to get married again. She is aware that Kody isn't prepared for it, though. Restarting a multiple family is something she fears much. She also makes a joke about how God will need to intervene and provide her with some kind of confirmation before she will once more believe in numerous weddings. Since they both have somewhat different views about getting married again, this is a huge source of contention between them. Robin is prepared to give up her desires, even if Kody made it apparent that he has no interest. In a sense, she remains receptive to the concept of polygamy. Despite his sometimes negative reputation, Sister Wives star Kody Brown has a tender side. In fact, during the most recent tell-all preview, he revealed that his feelings for Robin were so strong that they caught him off guard. It seemed as though he was playing the violin once more. Kody has engaged in self-pity on occasion, but who hasn't? The point is that he might be trying to sway others by telling a tearful tale about his great love. If this is the case, his remarks might be more about constructing a story than they are about revealing a significant reality about his life. He might, however, be being genuinely honest in his opening up. If that's the case, that's great. Kody is fully conscious of the destruction caused by preferring one wife, Robin. He has suffered a great deal, and he firmly feels that his family was ruined by his uncontrollable love. Perhaps Kody didn't understand what it was like to truly love his ex-partners, Meri, Janelle, and Christine Brown, even if he may have believed he did. His feelings for Robin were far more intense than his sentiments for the other. He seemed to be walking on air as soon as he began wooing her. With all of its euphoric bliss, this was love. Kody started acting completely different. All of a sudden, he was only thinking about Robin. At first, it might have appeared to be a crush, something passionate that isn't meant to last, but it was much more than that. Kody may have never felt that way about anyone else in his life. In another universe, This would be ideal, chemistry so strong that it simply takes over and unites two individuals. The fact that 3 other wives also desired a husband, however, presented a serious issue. Kody was really unlucky to be in this predicament because it would be difficult to untangle himself. As a husband of 3, and later 4, once he married Robin, he was overburdened. Another obstacle that prevented him from truly pursuing his dreams was the children he had from those moms. When he was the man of the house, driving the body and the family's lifeblood, it would take the most delicate surgery to free himself. Regretfully, his hands lacked the dexterity necessary to carry out the procedure without experiencing major issues. Maybe he waited too long. See, Janelle hit her breaking point above. That's what all the ex-wives did. Since he believed he should remain with the woman he didn't love, Kody most likely had the greatest of intentions. He isn't a villain because of that. They ought to have released him. All of the former spouses in that marriage are now adults, and they are all accountable for ignoring the truth. It's also unfair to portray the ex-partners as angels and villainize Kody. They were aware of what was going on, and maybe their unromantic decisions were motivated by a need for financial stability. Though there were other worries, feelings were genuine. It was like a keg of powder. The practical and the romantic are at odds in this situation, and the prolonged multiple marriage was most likely the result of practical demands taking precedence. However, a person's innermost feelings, the ones that motivate them, cannot be repressed. They always surface in some form. Thus, Robin's passive aggression, arguments, and an overall mood of sadness were all based on the delusion that everything was normal, even though everyone knew it was essentially a fake. In order to be felt and understood, emotions require a secure place to be expressed. Kody adored Robin, so they were. However, the other women had to face their emotional struggles alone. Kody likely questioned why they couldn't simply leave, but he also had to deal with the shame of being the one who refused them. He had to start it, but why? He actually waited in an attempt to persuade them to do the action that he refused to. They eventually did, but once more, it lasted much too long, and the negative recollections cast ominous shadows. We can only hope that everyone is old enough to move past this chaos. They ought to be. Breaking those ties was ultimately a difficult and frightening process. How could things have changed so drastically when there were so many shattered hearts, so much resentment, and a feeling of unreality? What would everyone's lives be like if the most well-known poly family in America broke up? For starters, there was a lot of money at risk. Sister wives makes a lot of money. Then came the ex-wives, who had to start over in their middle years. Children who were left out of Robin's core family, with Kody, then had to endure the atrocities of a dysfunctional household. Kody's perspective should be taken into account. It's not only about the ex-wives. His story is important. Men too have sentiments, a lot of them, which society frequently encourages them to keep hidden. There they remain, throbbing beneath the surface. Kody, convinced it was the correct thing to do, jumped into polygamy. He was led to believe it by others. These kinds of events, turning points that shift the terrain and even appear to permanently alter the universe, occur in every life. For Kody, it was love before Garrison's death, and that ought to be advantageous. But there were simply too many problems. He was unable to love Robin without restriction. In the preview, he stated, "This was so truthful. The simplicity of it speaks for itself." Although he might have been playing the victim, it's more probable that he feels obliged to say this, because it's true. He wants to be understood by others. Everyone desires to be understood. The sister wives, perhaps Kody Brown is correct when he says that polygamy cannot flourish following a traumatic experience like as falling deeply in love with one wife. It has to do with how individuals act. Kody was unable to follow the procedures. He wanted the fairy tale with Robin, but he was too romantic. So perhaps he should be given some leeway. He simply was unable to convince the other women, and perhaps that is a sign of a decent heart. It was impossible to fake love. Enough may have been said by the other women, but the sister women's stars decided to stay. All of them were adults who understood the situation. It could be time for the Browns to put their animosity aside now that Kody is making an effort to patch things up with his ex-partners by giving Meri and Janelle bigger shares in Coyote Pass before it is sold. People should remain with the people they love and leave others alone because life is too short for this. ChatGPT said. Sister wives shock. Kody and Robyn are starting to disagree. Life in monogamy isn't what they thought it would be. For years, Robyn Brown was widely seen as the most favored wife in the Brown family's controversial plural marriage arrangement. As Christine, Janelle, and Meri slowly stepped away from their spiritual unions with Kody Brown, it became crystal clear to fans and family alike that Robyn had become the central focus of Kody's attention. But now that the dust has settled and the other wives are no longer in the picture, a surprising new tension is brewing. Kody and Robyn are starting to disagree, and fans are wondering if monogamy is revealing cracks in their perfect dynamic. On Sister Wives, viewers watched the unraveling of Kody's polygamous lifestyle unfold over several dramatic seasons. As each wife exited the marriage, Kody's focus shifted entirely to Robyn, whom he legally married in 2014. At the time, Robyn was often viewed as the peacekeeper, the soft-spoken wife who respected Kody's authority and offered him a quiet corner of refuge amidst the chaos. However, as Kody and Robyn settle into a new chapter, a monogamous marriage, a fresh set of challenges has emerged, and Robyn is no longer staying silent. Fans who once saw Robyn as compliant are now witnessing something different. Behind closed doors, monogamy has taken away the very structure that gave Kody control. In plural marriage, he could deflect criticism or avoid deep emotional accountability by triangulating conflict among the wives. But now, with only Robyn left, there's nowhere to hide. And for the first time, Robyn is asking real questions, pushing back, and, according to insiders, voicing major frustrations about how things have changed. One of the biggest shifts is the loss of purpose that Robyn often tied to the plural marriage structure. She once tearfully admitted on camera that she joined the family to be part of something bigger than herself. She believed deeply in the principle of plural marriage and saw it as a divine calling. But now that she is Kody's only wife, that spiritual foundation has crumbled beneath her feet. According to sources close to the family, Robyn is struggling with the reality that she and Kody have, effectively, become a standard married couple, something she never signed up for. Kody, on the other hand, is reportedly dealing with his own internal conflicts. After years of blaming his other wives for the breakdown of the family, Kody is now forced to examine the role he played, and Robyn isn't letting him avoid the hard truths. Without the distraction of other marriages to manage, the emotional intensity between Robyn and Kody has increased. They're having more direct conversations, more disagreements, and, according to sources, they're finding out that they don't always see eye to eye on how this new normal should look. A major source of tension? Parenting. Robyn's youngest children, whom she shares with Kody, are still being raised in the Flagstaff home that many fans once viewed as a symbol of opulence and favoritism. But now that the family is splintered and finances are tighter than ever, Robyn and Kody are allegedly clashing over how to move forward, both emotionally and practically. Robyn wants to protect her kids from the fallout of the family's collapse. Kody, by contrast, is reportedly disengaging, emotionally checked out from the role of super dad he once performed so passionately for Robyn's kids when he was still trying to prove himself to her. What's more, Robyn is said to be struggling with Kody's growing bitterness and his tendency to dwell on the past. While she used to sympathize with his frustrations, she is now reportedly exhausted by his inability to move forward. A source close to the couple claims Robyn told a friend, "I thought once it was just me and him. We'd finally be happy. But he's angry all the time, and I'm starting to feel like I made a mistake." That's a chilling sentiment for fans who once thought Robyn had everything she wanted. In truth, Robyn's monogamous reality with Kody isn't a fairy tale, it's a fallout zone. Monogamy also means constant togetherness. Unlike in plural marriage, where Kody rotated between homes, allowing each relationship time to breathe, he's now in the same space with Robyn all the time. And that, insiders say, has made things harder, not easier. Kody's intensity, his strong-willed nature, and his growing disillusionment have reportedly become overwhelming. Robyn, once seen as endlessly patient, is now reportedly yearning for more personal space, more peace, and more purpose. But perhaps the most surprising element of their disagreements is this: Robyn still believes in plural marriage. She hasn't abandoned the principle. In fact, she has gone on record saying she never wanted to be in a monogamous marriage. "This is not the life I wanted," she once said on the show. "I feel like I've been tricked into something I never signed up for." Kody, however, has done a sharp 180. After years of advocating for the spiritual principle of plural marriage, he's now reportedly adamantly against it. In recent interviews, he's said that he has no interest in taking another wife and doesn't believe in the lifestyle anymore. This ideological rift is creating a deeper divide between them. Robyn feels betrayed, not just by the other wives, but by Kody himself, who once made sacred promises about their spiritual path. And then there's the money. With the Sister Wives show winding down, or at the very least, shifting formats dramatically, and with no plural family structure to lean on for narrative content, the financial pressure is very real. Robyn and Kody's $900,000 home is expensive to maintain. Legal fees, family splits, and the burden of providing for their kids on a dwindling reality TV salary are all taking their toll. Insiders say financial stress is adding fuel to their growing tension. It's a complete reversal of the roles fans are used to seeing. Robyn was once the serene, devoted wife who seemed to get everything she wanted. Kody was the confident patriarch, determined to lead his family through thick and thin. Now, Robyn is allegedly resentful, disillusioned, and lonely, and Kody is described as lost, angry, and spiritually adrift. What makes all of this so shocking is that the couple is finally getting what they claim to want: peace, simplicity, and a unified household. And yet, they're discovering that the peace isn't so peaceful after all. With no other wives to blame, no rotating schedules to distract them, and no spiritual mission to anchor their choices, Kody and Robyn are left with only each other. And it may not be enough. The image of Robyn and Kody as a power couple, united while the rest of the family collapsed around them, is beginning to unravel. They now must reckon with the truth that Christine, Janelle, and Meri all learned the hard way. You can't build a healthy relationship on the foundation of favoritism, denial, and resentment, even if you're the last wife standing. As fans await the next season or special of Sister Wives, one thing is clear: the story of Robyn and Kody isn't over. But the honeymoon period, if it ever existed, is most certainly behind them. And in its place, a monogamous marriage filled with tension, unmet expectations, and the haunting realization that life, without plural chaos, might not be so perfect after all. Sister Wives bombshell. Kody Brown plays the victim again, but was it his version of love that destroyed the family? Kody Brown is at it again, tears, tantrums, and all. In the latest wave of Sister Wives episodes and behind-the-scenes interviews, the infamous patriarch has once more stepped into the spotlight wearing his favorite mask, the victim. As Christine, Janelle, and Meri continue to flourish in their post-Kody chapters, viewers are watching Kody spiral deeper into self-pity and selective memory. While he cries foul and points fingers at the wives for breaking up the family, fans are increasingly asking the question that Kody refuses to face: was it actually Kody's idea of love that broke the Brown family beyond repair? Kody's long-standing habit of deflecting blame is nothing new. From the earliest seasons of Sister Wives, he often justified his actions under the guise of spiritual leadership or doing what's best for the family. But over time, it became painfully clear that his version of love came with conditions, control, and emotional manipulation. And now, with only Robyn left by his side and the rest of the family estranged, Kody's narrative has shifted into full-blown martyrdom. He insists he was just trying to love his wives the right way, and they failed to appreciate his sacrifices. But fans aren't buying it. Over the last few seasons, we've seen Kody spin elaborate justifications for his actions while consistently overlooking the emotional needs of his wives. When Christine left, he acted stunned. claiming she blindsided him. But viewers remember the coldness, the lack of physical affection, and the way he publicly shamed her for not being loyal enough. He even declared that he was no longer attracted to her, then blamed her for being distant. It was a classic case of emotional sabotage, and Christine's courage to walk away was a turning point not just for her, but for viewers who had long rooted for her quiet strength. Then came Janelle's unraveling relationship with Kody. What started as a practical, mutually respectful partnership turned into a passive-aggressive battlefield where Kody weaponized religion, guilt, and even their children to control the narrative. When Janelle finally said she was done, Kody didn't take accountability. Instead, he once again claimed he was the abandoned one, portraying himself as a man who gave everything only to be cast aside.